Okay, so the name of the song that I played at the very start of this stream is very apt because its title is The Search for Iron. Oh boy, so we're going to load up a new stream save called 1.3. Last time I saved as save 1. Today we are on save 1.3, and I am going to make some adjustments here. So, we are migrating from our starting position up here. Now, I went on a different, quote, save and had a look around. I was prospecting, and this is the area that I have decided we are going to move to. Now, of course, that other exploration file, I've set myself to like move really, really fast and all that sort of junk. Set the game speed to 2 that I just had to reset because I forgot. And on the main save, I just ran down here. I just ran down over here. Have not deconstructed what we built. Maybe I should do that, but considering I'm all the way already down here, I don't think I'm going to do that. So, the hunt for iron. I was looking specifically for a source of givelite and sapphirite that are within close proximity to each other. Now, there actually are quite a few of these locations. There's a spot right here. That's a really good spot, actually. There's a spot here. And then there's various other little areas around the map. But I just happened to quite like this area because it also has a source of coal near water, which is always nice. Another source of coal near water. But it also has, if I look around for it, for them, it has a source of lead, or this is another source of, if I go here, lead. This is also lead. So anytime there's rubite and crotinium near each other, that's a good place for lead. And any place that there's steatite and crotinium next to each other, or near each other, that's a source of copper. So we have a couple sources of copper. They are a fair distance away from each other, or away from where I am setting up at the moment. But I'm thinking maybe we put our bus, as much as I don't like going over top of the ores here, they're not particularly valuable ores to me, so the bus is probably gonna end up being here. And I might have it going left from here. So, for all intents and purposes, these are actually relatively close by for how I'm going to set up the bus down here. And there's even more sapphirite, and there's even more coal, and there is bobmonium. So right here, this is the icon for tin. You need steatite and bobmonium for tin, so there is a spot right there for that. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. At least it better be good. And there's various other sources of bobmonium and givelite and sapphirite. So like right here, this is another spot of iron production that we can do. But this is all, of course, under the assumption that I am going to crush and sort on location. The issue with doing that is I have to pipe in mineral catalysts to do that on location. But I know that those ores are near each other, near enough to each other, that I can have something there. So an area such as this that has copper, tin, lead, and iron all close to each other is a great candidate to put ore sorting for all four of them right next to each other so that I can just pipe in a single set of mineral catalysts up. But we are relatively far from doing that. We might not even get... We're pretty much not going to get to that this stream. I think I can guarantee that much for certain. So let's set up our new base. Our brand new base. Oh, and when exploring, because I have this mod called KS Power, it gives you these little burner generators. Now, a neat little thing you can do with the burner generators, if I move to a coal patch. Oh, this terrain. Is it the terrain that's making me slow, or is it just because I chose a character class that moves slower? I think both of the above. But with the burner generators, what you can do is you can just place a burner generator down on a coal patch with an electric mining drill and a single electric pole and a radar within the power zone, and you just need to put like 1 unit of coal in the generator to kickstart the process, and it will feed itself until you're out of coal on that coal patch. And give you a radar site for the entire area. Oh, also of note, we have lots of thermal water, as well as lots of natural gas, and a little bit of multi-phase oil. I wish there was more multi-phase oil, but I'll have a look around. There should be more. There's more. Right there, multi-phase oil. So we have plenty of our other resources. I'll call them other, our petrochems. And our water. Thermal water is going to be our infinite source of mineral catalysts at some point. As well as lithium water, if I choose not to use the water bores. Because I think the water bores are a little bit overpowered. Just a smidge. They're incredibly convenient, don't get me wrong, but it removes an aspect to the game that I think is rather important, which is the movement of water. And it sort of trivializes the concept of having impure water versus purified water, and then lithium water to get, well, lithium and lithium products. So my power generation... I'll need some steam engines. Maybe not so many steam engines. As those are building, I will set up some... Oh, and I'm going to need some of those. How am I going to do this? Where am I going to start this? Probably... So the coal will come in from the right for this setup. I don't want to overlap my multi-phase, or my natural gas, so this is, quite limiting. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say steam engine, steam engine. Meow? Is that the kitty talking to me? Complaining? He's probably just complaining about various stuff and things. I need pipe. Which pipe do I want to use? Probably those. Because I have quite a bit more copper than other resources at the moment. Oh, that's so unfortunate. So the question is, do I move everything one tile to the left to prevent this? Oh boy. Yep, I'm gonna do it. Everything will go one tile left. Now the great thing is, if you hover over a ghost and you hit Q, if you have it in your inventory, it'll just pull it out and you can just place it immediately. Which is nice. Also, I should stick some form of pipe on my hotbar. Speaking of the hotbar, I need to place down electronic assembling machines, and I may as well actually assign what I intend to assign to these, which are the regular inserters, the filter inserters, the stack inserters, and the filter stack inserters in those locations. It'll be a little while before we get these, but I do want to have those on the bar, as well as big electric poles, and I will replace small with medium. So we're gonna have coal coming in there. I'm gonna have 2 of those. Gonna need another thingamadoodad. That is gonna be 1 off. More than 1. 2 off. You know what? We'll do like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll leave me with 2 in my inventory. No, there. On the inside, please. And then, unfortunately, it takes 2. I think that'll look nice. That'll be nice. Then what we'll do is we'll put a ghost down. We'll stick those there. We'll do yet another copy. This time like that. And then we can just paste in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 sets. 5 sets. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we're covering fissures. And 10. Do I need these? Not really. We've got all of these. So that'll be our line of boilers and steam engines and all that. That'll grow with time. As I drink my coffee. My 3rd-ish cup of coffee. Also, build inserters, please. I think we learned last time that I need lots of inserters. Now, do I have enough belts to reach to the coal? Probably not. I don't expect to be completely honest. Maybe I should focus on give me belts. Maybe make another trip to the main factory. Or the starting factory area. Because I need to get up here. And I need to get pipes up here. Which... yeah, there's not going to be enough for those. For that. And then, of course, I need to get enough power poles out here. There's some infinite coal here. I'll probably start off with the not infinite because it looks like we have a somewhat sufficient, I'd say, amount here of standard coal. We're limited by just our belts and our ability to get water out here. Which, as I mentioned before, I hate fluids, but at least these don't take too much of it. It just needs it. For now. Oh, please tell me I have enough. These... hey, we have enough. We have a sufficient amount. Also, I can apparently make a absolute ton of electric poles, which is always nice. I think it's incredibly unfortunate that these cannot connect to each other on top and bottom. Just how they're designed, but we'll get better poles. We will have improved poles. Now, what I'm going to do with these is I am going to run them straight. Try and conserve the number of poles that we are using. He says as he makes a ton of poles. Oh, please connect. Yes. Now, what this will mean is I just have to place those and kickstart the process. And put down some burners. Burner inserters. And we should now be making coal over there. Let's make sure we can... oh, right. Resources. Well, shall we run back there? So I can pick up all of the iron that I have producing, because I'm going to need it. I think we're going to take a hike. A literal hike. But we have power here now. There's that much at least. This is primarily just because I just don't have what I need for belts. And we're just going to need a lot of belts. A lot of belts. For this entire process. Now, running back at 1x speed, you can probably forgive me for wanting to go to 2x at this point in time. But, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna say set the speed to 2 to have this time, although I can see the game is not necessarily wanting to run at 2. Note that this FPS/UPS counter up top is not what I'm streaming at. I am streaming and recording at 30 frames per second, not 60, which is what it's running at. And the FPS will go to 120 if I'm not streaming, it would be solid 120, 120 right now, and I have seen it go. If I set the game speed any higher than 2, it will peak out UPS generally around the 150, 160-ish range, which is, let's just say, about 2.5 times speed. Because how fast the game runs is sort of tied to the frame rate. How quickly it can actually process things that are happening. So just taking our slow run back at the moment, and then we have to go all the way the other direction. Yeah, it's a bit far from the original location. I'll probably just dismantle the original location at this point, because if we're taking the time to go all the way back. Also, this is a rather large body of water. Most of the bodies of water are rather large on this map. There are actually several surrounding the original starting location that I came to find out. And there are a few spots that I was considering that were a bit closer to the original starting location, but I like the place I picked because it has a lot of what I need in relatively close proximity to each other, which is what I was primarily looking for. I was hunting for iron, but I was also hunting for a spot that wasn't completely devoid of any one thing. He says as the spot that he's migrating to has the exact same issue with copper production as it does with iron production currently. But at least the copper, there are ways around that. Because I don't need as much copper as I do iron, it will be a lot easier to manage the production of copper through... Gosh, I just had this discussion about how much I hate the unsorted processing, or the sorting of crushed single ore directly. But I can do it for crushed stereotyte and get 2 iron and 1 copper out of it. And that 1 copper for 2 iron, it'll be enough copper, and I'll need a lot more iron so I don't have to overproduce. I can produce for what I need for copper instead of producing what I need for iron and ending up with a ton of excess copper along the way. Which I think is a better option, albeit it's still going to be a temporary option until we set up the actual copper ore sorting. But, yeah, here we are. Welcome back to the base. I am removing this. I am removing all of this. All of it, please. Yeah, it's marking all the rocks and things, but I'm probably not going to be back here at all. I just wanted to get rid of the ghosts, simply. Hey, I guess the thingies here are mostly full. Give me everything. Everything except the crushed ore. I don't really need the crushed ore. No! Inventory, why? Take those things. Of course, I am going to need all of the belts, so I'll at least need the belts. And I'll probably just end up grabbing what's on the belts currently, but let's prevent new things from appearing on the belts. Start with that and go from there. Don't need the stone, don't need the coal. I don't need the crushed ores either. Oh, come on. Need better things. I want to keep a stack of coal, just in case. Oh, also 200% game speed for all of this, just to speed up the mining time to clear all this, and we have to make the whole hike back, lest we forget. I do intend on setting us back to game speed 1 once we get back to our base location. Right. Take all of that back, please. I do not want you. This is actually going to be a fantastic deal for us, because we have all of this stuff already made. We won't have to expend the resources to make more by doing this. I thought maybe I could get away with it, with just starting from scratch from being down there, but clearly not. In fact, I will very likely need even more belts than what I currently have. I'm gonna fill up on coal again. Here, take all of these, all of that away from me. Give me these. Good thing is I'll end up with pipes and a ton of wood. Yeah, that's a sufficient amount for now. So as of about 5 o'clock this evening, my time, Eastern, the video for yesterday's stream will be going live on YouTube. I managed to get that all done. Okay. I managed to finish that up, get that rendered. I had to re-render it because, issues. But, yeah, so it's edited, the lunch break is cut out of it, and all that sort of stuff. And it is a better quality. It is a 1080p video at a higher bitrate than what I am streaming at. I am streaming, of course, in 720p, 30 FPS at the moment, just because I am not an affiliate, and I do not get access to transcoding on my videos, at least I don't think I do. And it's at a relatively low bitrate of, I think, 2.5 megabits. Excuse me while I put stuff, shove stuff into boxes. Take all that stupid ore. That was not intentional. Note that I am having inventory space trouble despite taking a character class that specifically has increased inventory space. Oh boy. Welcome to Factorio. All your inventory belong to us. No matter how big it gets, you will always have issues. It will always be full. Is that all? Besides the remnants of our trail that we made with our excess stone bricks. That should have actually gone to pipes, but whatever. And there's some burner miner drills that I do not need. Time to head back with all the stuff and things in tow. I think I now have sufficient numbers of things. Not... Of course, I left all of the stone behind, so that is not good, actually. Here, give me fresh stone, because I need some, at least, to make undergrounds, because I will need undergrounds, and I will need splitters, and I will need inserters, and I will need pipes. May as well make them. Take some of those, I'll take some of those, I'll take a few of those. More of those. Just more. More is the answer for the moment. And always, actually. More is always the answer. That was probably limited by stone bricks, yeah. Well, there are some forests along this pathway, so if we ever do need more wood, we know where to go. Though since I do have access to greenhouses at the moment, and I have 41 of them, I don't think I'm going to need wood ever again. At least not from the open range trees. Now, one thing from yesterday's stream I noticed that I should probably go in and reduce just a tiny bit more is the music volume of the game. During the lunch break, I had increased it a little bit to have something going. That didn't quite work out so well. And then I forgot it was raised when I started to actually play again, which, until I noticed that the volume was a bit high on the music, was a tad bit distracting. So, just want to make sure I don't muck about with that. I have put Factorio music into a playlist on a music player to play music during breaks. So that is my solution for the moment. How far away? Very. We've got even more thermal water. Here, oh. Hello. Why are you not marked as lead? There's also... What combination is that again? There's issues with these starting resources, you may have noticed, because copper and tin require stereotyte, and then lead and copper require crucinium. Sapphirite is only used for iron, for the crushed sapphirite and the crushed bobmonium, or the crushed givelite. Crushed givelite and sapphirite. Iron is pretty much all it's used for. At the moment. I'll make that clear, at the moment. There are further processing steps after crushed that will mix the combinations a bit more, but those will require a different catalyst entirely. That will require crystal catalysts and then hybrid catalysts, which is combining both. It will be interesting, to say the least. Now, there are various ways to get mineral catalysts. There's only really one good way of consistently getting the crystal catalysts, and that method also lets you get mineral catalysts. So you can set up an entire production of all three catalysts based off of one process. And it has nothing to do with the thermal water stuff, so you can actually do this well before the thermal water becomes a thing. We have arrived! We can now set game speed back to 1. Hallelujah. Since I'm here, and since I have them, I can place down what boilers I do have, what pipes I do have, and what steam engines I do have. Run that up, I'll probably place a burner inserter thing there, although I'm not going to ever use these besides for boilers. Now I can get another one of these to go to the coal. That'll go there. Why? So, pipes. They do not look very great, because you need a lot of them, and it can get a little bit messy quite quickly. Fortunately, as we upgrade pipes, the distance of the underground pipes will also increase. So, we'll have to use less over a distance. Now, since we're oriented, how are we going to orient the infinite? Probably like this. Now, is there access to infinite here? No. No, there is not. So, that'll be how I do that, but I will need to do this. No, don't do that. Do it this way, please. No. As cool as that looks. Trying to conserve the overall total pipes used. How far down is this? Oh. Not far down is the answer. what's six? Six? Really? Six? Alright. Then they will need power. Of course they will need power. Now, once I get medium poles, there is a method of putting medium poles in, like, on the line and then have undergrounds, and they'll feed, like, into the undergrounds, sort of like that. But I don't care for that method. It uses the resource too much. The undergrounds use more resources than the poles do. So yeah, you're conserving poles, but you're also using a lot of undergrounds in the process of the item that is arguably a lot more valuable to you. These no longer need to exist. We are now infinite. Now, when it comes to the infinite ores of the other things, coal is easy. Coal is just impure standard water. I'm trying to remember. It's sapphirite, steatite, and bobmonium require sulfuric acid. Givelite requires hydrofluoric acid, and rubite requires nitric acid, and crotinium requires hydrochloric acid. Oh boy, it's a little difficult to remember. It's Givelite's the fluorine, crotinium's the chlorine, rubite's the nitrogen, acids of those, and all the rest are sulfur acid. So that's how I remember that. And conveniently enough, those are the same material, the same gases slash aqueous liquids that are also required for the leaching step of ore purification processes. So you go from, if I go to the tech tree actually and try and find where these might be. So you have hydro refining to get what I call floated, because this is through the flotation process, to get these chunks of ore, and then you leach to get these crystals, and the leaching process requires an acid. The hydro refining, the actual the flotation produces a liquid waste product of the chemical, the main chemical that is used as an acid in the next step. Unfortunately, you can only use that wastewater in the production of hydrofluoric and sulfuric acid at the moment. The chlorine wastewater, the chloric wastewater, can That converts to saline water, which converts to chlorine, which is used to make eventually the hydrochloric acid. But that whole process is messed up at the moment. And then you get into the actual refineries, which honestly forget they require an input as well. So yeah, that'll be fun. Of all of those different types of acids that I have just mentioned, nitric acid is the most difficult to acquire because it cannot be made out of straight up nitrogen, because there is a process where you can essentially process air into oxygen and nitrogen, which makes sense. Air is mostly nitrogen, but free nitrogen exists as N2, so 2 atoms of nitrogen, and it's incredibly stable. It is really stable. In order to actually convert N2 to nitrogen monoxide or nitrogen dioxide requires an insane amount of energy to be input into the system. So that is actually not a process available to you in Angel's Mods at the moment. It apparently used to be, but it is not anymore, and it makes complete, perfect, total sense for that to be the case. I'm just gonna have, yeah, that should, last us a little while. Note, I am not doing the infinite ore production because we don't have sulfuric acid at the moment. And we likely won't for a little while. Though I do find it a little interesting. You use sulfuric acid to get to hydrofluoric and to get to hydrochloric. And I think also nitric. We'll see. The sulfuric is actually used in the production of other acids as well. Or can be used in the production of other acids as well. I will need to run power. So right now I am setting up our inefficient iron plate production. After which, I have no idea what I'm going to do about the inefficient copper plate production, but it'll have to happen. It's going to be quite far away. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do the impure sorting, crushed ore sorting, to get copper. Screw it. And I will focus on teching. That is not good. I will tech up to get to the point where I can do the pure ore sorting. I could really use stone bricks. That would be convenient, highly convenient even. So I said the main bus was going to be way down here, didn't I? Or at least allude to that fact. Or to that idea. That it would be way down here. Where exactly? East, west, south of the Sapphirite patch. is where it would begin. Alright, so we will begin it there. But first, as always, we will do our crushing. Now, as I said, we are going to actually do what I don't like doing, which is the ore sorting process. Impure ore sorting process, as I like to call it. This will produce rocks for us. This will crush those. I think this setup is from Nilaus. Yeah, I think this is at least derived from his setup, where he had like squares that looked like this and then sorted from there. I think I would prefer including a crushed stone to feed into this. I just have to think how I want things routed and how it all gets fed and all of that, because when this thing spits out ores, it's spitting out 2 units of iron, a unit of copper, and a unit of slag. I will need to separate the unit of slag and route it to this machine. So what I'm thinking is we get 4 of these on the end. I'm trying to think if I want to that doesn't quite work as I want it to, because this is too long. It's not in the proper location, I should say. That should only grab slag, and it should grab all of the slag. And it will crush it, and it will spit it into the rocks, and I can have the rocks completely separate from the line coming out. Now, of course, the line coming out, which at the moment looks like a giant middle finger, it has to go somewhere, and it will have both iron and copper on it. I will split off the copper ore, which is here. That'll go to its own smelting. That'll go to its own smelting. I shouldn't split it there. I need to think a bit better about this, because if you're gonna do it at scale. Plan for scale. Now, I don't necessarily need to fully build to the scale, but I need to plan for the scale. I also have no idea if That's not right. That's not gonna... That's not gonna work. Not with these. It could be the start of a separate line, or I can just mirror. I don't know if one crusher machine is able to process the slag of 4 of these. Also, quite clearly, we are actually feeding ore on that line. Which means I need to reorient my power. Oh, that's super convenient, actually. That's not convenient, but I'm not using it yet, so I'll worry about that when I use it. I think we'll be fine if all... I'm thinking about if all 4 of these ore sorting facilities are running at maximum capacity. I will need something actually feeding those 2 at the end, so at bare minimum, I need these on each side. And they'll need to feed in, so if I run this line down from here... I would need to jump at that point. Because I need that. Of course, I'll only be able to actually use 2 on that side. Feed. Alright, let's see if this works. It'll stop working because I don't have a place to shoot the rocks. Because the rocks need to go somewhere. I'll just terminate that there for now. And you can see I'm only producing on one side of, like, one lane only, because I would need to do this. For now, just shove into boxes. Also, start shoving things in. Ah, it missed it. It missed it because it was too slow. So anytime, yeah, and it's not gonna work that way. Because it's much too slow. Alright, well, if I do it like this, other way, buddy. That should work a bit better, but then I run into the issue of not being able to power 4 of these. We'll get faster inserters. It'll be fine. It will be fine. Uh-huh. Right. That helps. If we're having this much trouble with just 2, I don't think 4 is very much in the cards, shall we say. Yeah, I don't think 4 is gonna work with this setup, but I think we knew that from the beginning. But fortunately, I think that this might work out a little bit better if we route down, let's say, from here. Because what I can then do is mirror. Like that. I can just mirror it, and there we go. That is a production, or I can make 2 lines. Have it 1 unit over and do 2 lines. Then, of course, we need to separate the copper ore. From the iron. And that looks good. That looks really good. And it is functional. It's moving. And I now have some stone that can be used on stone smelting. So somewhere around in my pastes, I might still have this set up. So where do I want to set this up is the question of the century. Probably right here. Try and save some space. That's not right. That's right. Was 1 tile off. And then how many do I need? I need, let's say iron, steel, copper. That's all I need from here. Oddly enough, Givelite will give the exact same thing at the ore sorting phase, at the impure ore sorting. Do I want to bring in crushed rubite is the question. I will need to bring in crushed bobmonium. There's bobmonium right there. And right there. And right there. So the closest is here for bobmonium. I will be needing tin. So iron, steel, copper, tin, lead. That will be those lines. Oh, that's so convenient that it gives you the actual orientation. And then the other thing I need to think about is, do I want to elongate these? Because I think I want to elongate them by an additional 6 before terminating. Or at least extend the center line out so that I am able to add more before, quote, being on the bus. That was supposed to be a power pole. Player is in the way. Player will always be in the way. Why is that? Why is that different? It's different. Is it? Oh, I see. My mind is going. Yeah, my mind is just going. It's there. I do think that these shadows are a bit difficult to see at times, particularly these small power poles. Now, of course, at the moment, I'm going to set up... I guess I'll set up 3 of them. Give me more. So I'll set up 3 of them because I'll have at least a minimal amount of steel being produced from this guy right here. That will, of course, mean that I will need to split off some iron production to feed back into the system. Iron plate production, I should say. Now, do remember that we have twice as much iron as we do copper. So if we build enough to saturate iron, to use all of our iron ore coming in, then half of that is required to consume our copper. And there we go, 3 setup. I will, of course, need a coal pipe. So, let's say this will be our pipe of coal. Split, move, split down, and split down. Let's avoid that. Now, where do I want to run the coal down from? Probably the source. Oh, that's going to be a lot of... Yeah, that's gonna be a lot. There is no... Is there no closer source of coal? No. Nope, of course not. Oh, I need a 4th one. I need a 4th one. Why do I need a 4th smelting line? Because I need to process the stone into stone bricks. Maybe I shouldn't even be thinking about steel at the moment. Oh boy. Yeah, I probably shouldn't even be thinking about steel, because I will need some steel produced this way so that I can do metallurgy with actual efficient machines. But you need steel to make those machines. That comes in here. That comes in here. Metallurgy 1. And then I'll have to actually get the actual smithing recipes for iron, steel, and copper at minimum. And tin. Well, iron, steel, and copper, because I'm currently sorting into iron and copper ores. And doing this right now is incredibly inefficient compared to just direct crushed ore sorting. I need to make that abundantly clear as well. Because what you get out of this is, while it is overall more plates, it's less of a specific plate than previously. So if I were to just directly smelt the crushed sapphirite, I would end up with more iron plates than I will get iron plates by doing this ore sorting. And if I had the nearby source of steatite for the copper. So just making sure to bear that one in mind. Alright, that wires all that up. Let us build the 4th unit. Which is probably gonna be the only one that still exists at the end of all this. Even towards the end of the game. This will probably still be here because it is doing the stone. It'll need to get a unit wider as I transition to more is more. As I transition to electric furnaces, because they are much larger. But by that point, none of the other ones will exist on this line. Welcome to the coal. It has finally made its way down here. Yes, I understand that. Hey, it's an underground to get to the opposite side of that for the coal, and then it's an underground to get to the other side of the coal. Yeah. I see the inherent issue with that, but we're going with that for now. We're going with it. This is not copper. This is copper. Alright. And then, of course, again, as with the other line, we will grab our plates at the end. At the end of all of these for now. So that'll give us a nice, consistent source of iron and copper again. Slower than previously, mind you. But it will help to jumpstart us now. I'm going to split off. No. This way. This way is much simpler. That will make steel. Now, in Angels, the steel should be 8 plates per unit of steel. 8 iron plates per unit of steel for this processing. Once I get the tech for steel processing, let's not forget I don't have that tech yet. Oops. Or, wait, do I? I have that tech. Why are you not? Huh? Oh, that's new. That is actually genuinely new. That is genuinely new. I need some stone bricks. Alright, fresh plan. No. No, 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 no. Break that. So this will require oxygen. So wow, Angel, bringing in, forcing you to start your petrochem stuff early. Yeah, making you do this super early. Yeah, I need, gosh, the only way to get oxygen at this stage of the game is to do electrolysis. And produce slag. So, yeah, that's... I like that. And it's actually closer to, reality with steel, on how steel is actually produced. Closer, of course, not that I even know the actual way. What am I doing? I need to go to my stone. I need more belts, as always. I need to go to my stone, and I need more inserters, as always. Yes, I'm running over an infinite patch. Alright, so in what was going to be steel, is now going to be our stone bricks. Now, the reason for that is I need to design a different setup for steel smelting from iron. Oh boy, that'll be interesting, to say the least. Yeah, this'll be interesting. I think I'll still want it to be the same concept, at least. But it needs oxygen now. So... Oops. Wrong button. Yeah, that is new and exciting. Brand spanking new and exciting. It wasn't like that before. Didn't used to be like that. But it has been changed. Now, for better or worse, we shall see. So I'm going to need... I have the choice of either putting down a new pump, which I think I'm going to do. And then I have the choice of... I have to decide where I want to place the electrolyzer. That will determine how many resources it'll take, either pipes or belts. I think I'm gonna do the pipes and bring it down generally to here. Then I have to think about... Alright, well, we're gonna have another one of these, another one of these. More of that. 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 Guess where my electrolyzer is gonna be. Give you one good guess. Where is it? Where it hasn't been made yet. Alright. Die. Make it. Make my electrolyzer, please. In the last 3 minutes before I take a break for lunch. Wow, that was unexpected. Definitely unexpected. But, yeah. Learning on the fly with Otaku Showboat. I guess I'll do it like this. I guess so. Then wire it up. What? That is a heck of a lot of slag. It's like I saw that the crusher had a lot of stuff on it. Or in it. Alright, so... Ooh. Okay, so this will take oxygen. Do I have flare stacks at the moment? No, I don't. So what uses the hydrogen? What uses the hydrogen at this point in the game? Well, let's find out, shall we? If I need just more tech, I might just need more tech to get to... Of course, basic chemistry 2 will allow me to not produce slag anymore. Where's my... I think flare stacks are a red science tech. Yes, they are. And they're locked behind a crap ton of stuff. Interesting. Well, hydrogen and oxygen make purified water. So... But I don't have chemical plants yet. At least I don't think I have chemical plants yet. Oh, this is actually pretty interesting. I have to think about this. It's something to think about during the break. Ooh. I'm gonna leave it with making... I will make chemical furnaces. Maybe this'll tell me. Maybe these will tell me what consumes hydrogen. It doesn't. All I can make right now is steel. Oh boy. Well, I will be back with my lunch in about 15 minutes. It is time for a break. I need to think things over a bit. What uses hydrogen? Where am I now stuck until I can make red science? That will not be good, actually. That will not be good. Yeah, I have to give this a think. I will be back. Alright, so we are back. I have had my lunch and I have discovered several things within the tech tree. So, the problem with producing steel right now is that, sure, we can make oxygen. But we are making hydrogen with it. And we currently don't have any means of dealing with that hydrogen easily. In fact, there are no means to automatically or automatedly deal with the hydrogen that is being produced. We can deal with the slag produced, but we can't do anything with the hydrogen. However, what we will be able to do, once we have researched basic chemistry 2, is do the opposite of what we just did and convert oxygen and hydrogen back to water, in this case purified water, because we have produced a unit of slag in order to give us pure water in the end. Now, with that said, this process will then produce purified water. Do we have things that we can use all of that purified water on at the moment? No. However, water treatment, while also giving another way of producing purified water from water, a much more direct way of giving you purified water from water, it also gives you access to clarifiers. And that would be how we would deal with excess hydrogen. However, clarifiers require steel. So you see the problem here? There's an inherent problem with this process because, clarifiers take steel. The hydro plant, we could actually make that. We could make hydro plants. We can't make clarifiers, and it requires the basic electronic boards, the BEBs. It requires BEBs. Even these pumps require BEBs. So, you know what? I am at a loss for the moment as to exactly how we're going to deal with our excess hydrogen, because there's also like converting this stuff into carbon monoxide and then back, and basically just a different way of making purified water. But I mean, I have no idea if this math quite works out, so we could split it again. We could then process purified water again. I mean, so going from the impure water to oxygen and hydrogen gives you 30 oxygen and 40 hydrogen. So we would end up producing an excess amount of oxygen, which we want to produce enough hydrogen to do purified water. 100 units of purified water. This process then takes 40 units. That then takes the 100 units of purified water and gives us back 40 units of oxygen and 60 units of hydrogen, which I'm trying to think. Let me actually do this math briefly, because it's 3040 on impure. That's 7100. 7 to 10. And this is every 2 seconds versus every 4, so I think it's still hydrogen starved. I think it's still hydrogen starved. As in, there'll be an excess. I think there'll still be an excess of oxygen. So, once we get basic chemistry 2, I'll put down... We'll test this. I'll make 2 more electrolyzers, basically, to do that process. And, go from there. Make the decisions then. But first... Oh boy, but first... I need a minibus. I need a minibus. And I need you to stop doing what you're doing for the moment. So, oddly enough, there is a, what side of the bus do I actually want to build on? I'm doing this wrong. Yellow science just so happens to consume the copper and the iron exactly at the same ratio we are producing the copper and the iron ores. So this is the one thing that this is good for, because it is 2 iron per copper on science production. Yellow science production. Now, I forget, is it just these that you need? Yes, it is, so that line will go that way. I don't have... I have to plan this very specifically because I don't have the long inserters yet. I sort of want the long inserters, by the way. Just so we're clear on this, I want them desperately. Really? And then science labs. Where am I gonna put the science labs? Where am I gonna... Ugh. This is bad, and I should feel bad for doing this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Now we have all the science, even though these will feed 2 labs, I guess, technically. Power that. Alright, we're now working on basic chemistry too. Do I want more? Of course I want more. Who do you think I am? Of course I want more. It's gonna be completely demolished and rebuilt from scratch, pretty much. At some point or another. But until then, I need science. I need a non-zero amount of science. Let's make that perfectly clear. I also need I'm sure this will make people angry because I now have an odd number of underground belts. You know what? Here, let's make people happy and have an even number of these belts. Yeah, I know that. That don't work. That no work. That work. And then pipes, may as well plan. Belts! Let there be belts. Now, when I say it's at ratio because it's 2 iron plates per geo reel, and then 1 unit of copper plates for what we're producing. So, theoretically, if I had enough of this, I could perfectly consume what I'm producing. But I don't, so I don't. Let's get some of these in. Yeah. And it is still 8-1. Ugh, that sucks. Really? Really? They're off. That's better. That's a lot better. Oh! I got the thing. Excellent. I have the thing. Oh, hey, look, it's sulfur processing, as if I can actually do anything with sulfur at the moment. As if I can actually even produce sulfur. Give me metallurgy. This is not a good spot for these. Power poles. I can't have those there. I can't have any power poles there, because that's where the oxygen is going to come in. I guess that works. That should work. Excellent. Now, how many units of oxygen is this? 10 every 3.2 for each of these. Yeah, that's a fair bit. Pipes are required. No, not you. And then more electrolyzers. At least my ore isn't backed up at the moment. Let's siphon off one so that we stay producing and we don't back up. Oh boy, so this will be a challenge. An interesting challenge as I handcraft a ton of stuff. Just make my pipes, make the electrolyzers. I really don't like setting this up, doing this process, but it's what we have to do for the moment for copper. Or just, you know, get about 3,000 units of belts to get all the way up there, or all the way over here. This is actually a really big spot. Do I have... I don't think I have... You. You are important. You should be doing your thing. And up here, too. All the power wires everywhere. Oh boy. Alright, I now have the things. You are doing... purified water. No, you are not. Wait. What machine? Did what again? Basic... Oh, it's in the chem plant. Right. Right, it's in the chem plant, buddy. I need a chem plant. Please tell. Well, hey, let's make a liquefier and see what we can make in one of those. It only has one input, so probably nothing of any particular value. Carbon dioxide, of course. So I can do the whole business of this gas shift, but yeah, hey, that's purified water, and it's enough carbon monoxide to feed the gas shift, so I need steam and I need carbon dioxide. Oh boy. Well, I have that, so that'll give me boiler. This will be an incredibly temporary setup. I need more. More! More! Oh. Crap. No, don't. It's the same problem. It's the same problem. Because this would be done in a chem plant. And I can't make the chem plant. Oh joy, oh bliss. This is a wonderful thing. Hey, what do you have? Hello, Bob's electrolyzer. You're meant primarily for later use for lithium production. Yeah, figures. That's for lithium production. Okay, well then. I guess I have to get red science before that I can do steel, which makes no sense whatsoever. It's like, you get the ability to make steel early in yellow science, but throughout all this perusing and trying to figure things out, there is no way to actually make steel automated without a red science tech. At least one red science tech, which boggles my mind. Let's do this correctly. How is this going to be set up in actuality? Like that, so you go like that. Do I want to use all these undergrounds right now? No. Really? Oh, hey, metallurgy. Welcome. You need steel. So it's a little bit pointless, but anyway. Iron. Go ahead and give me the techs I will be using. At least. Okay, next. Wood. So I am officially on the path to basic circuits. Basic circuit boards, I think. Not basic electronic boards, but basic circuit boards. Yeah. I guess I'll siphon this water. May as well. It's right here. Now the question is, do I bring the water down and then over to feed in? I think that's what I do. That way it avoids having to make a gap for it. Ugh, I need long reach. I need long build. Techs. Yes, that's perfect. It works! Of course, I think I built things a little bit too close. Maybe. I think I built just a single tile too close, but we will manage, because I need seedlings. Oh, this is gonna suck until I get... I need this. I need this next, because I need long inserters. Speaking of inserters, this is going to use a crap metric ton of them. Because each one of these needs 2. Do I really want to feed it this way? And then this is why this is 1 tile too close, because I have to get out of here. Oh, and then I need more undergrounds. On top of everything else, I also now need undergrounds. Oh joy, oh bliss. Whew, alright. So, you're going out there. Oh, that's unfortunate. Why did I have to choose? Why do I always choose an odd number? Here, be even. It's an even number between the two sides. It was exactly 10, but then I remembered, oh hey, we do things by side in this, and it's better to have an even number on each side. So 12 total. 12 total. 6 on each side. That's a much better number to deal with. Yeah. And then the whole reason for needing the long inserters is so that these... Alright. Guess we're doing it this way. Yes, these are going to be the long inserters, and they're going to feed the seedlings into those. The wood's gonna come out, and it's all gonna end up being even in the end. Everything will be wonderful. Now, the problem with having only the access to these small power poles at the moment is that no. You can feed, but you shouldn't have the thing yet, because you need to be long. You need to be long. So this is the issue, because you need to have two side by side in this spacing. You can't have it on the opposite side because you can't reach over two belts. I could theoretically do an underground and stick it in an underground, in between an underground, but Again, it comes down to what's more valuable, an extra power pole or a set of undergrounds. The set of undergrounds is always going to be more valuable to me than an extra power pole. And it looks weird, too. Having all the undergrounds. Either way, it will look a little weird. Everything will look a lot better once I get access to the substations, because I love using substations instead of power poles. Alright, so now what lane do I want the wood on? Speaking of which, more things. What lane do I want the power poles, or the wood going down? Probably this one? I'm trying to think, because it's gonna be 6, and then 6. This is gonna be iron 2, steel 1, steel 2. Shouldn't need more than that. Shouldn't need more than 1 copper. But I guess I will... Oh, hey, look. Give me advanced copper smelting. I have one problem with the copper smelting. Because you see, after getting advanced 2 and 3 and all this, being able to do pellets and things, there's no advanced copper, liquid copper production to actually make the copper plates. There's a lot of recipes that will incorporate copper ingots to give you extra liquid of that particular type of metal that's different from copper. But actual copper? Liquid copper? No, there's nothing. Even iron has more advanced recipes for liquid iron that uses things like cobalt and nickel, I think are the two. That gives you 360 units per craft in the induction furnace for liquid iron. But there isn't one for copper. It's really weird. And yet, copper ingots get used in a lot of other processes. It's like, well, and then there is a reason for it, and that's because actual copper plates aren't used for much. But then there's copper wire. Copper wire does have a demand pretty significant demand. Well, I didn't actually start that. Start that, please. Alright, so 2 iron, 2 steel. That will be my wood, and that will be my resin. Yeah, this will be wood. I can't make resin by hand, but that will be my resin. Do I want to jump that one there for now? That's it. So this is wood. Is that really worth an under? It's like, what does that save? And I'm not sending the wood up anyway. That this would be the start of the line of the wood here, and it would only be used further down. I am not gonna have wood bricks be up here when I eventually can make wood bricks. Now, all this smelting stuff, by the way, all of it will require steel to actually make the machines. So, even though I love having all of these techs, all these wonderful, beautiful yellow science techs, I can't do anything until I have steel, and I can't actually now make the steel until I have red science. Unless there is something I am completely oblivious to, which that's always an option. I could just be completely oblivious as to a magical method of dealing with hydrogen or production of oxygen by itself that eludes me right now. Because what I really see are things that... Because, honestly, this process would be good. But again, this process requires chem plants, which require steel. And then... How about algae? How about the algae stuff? So, this will require saline water. This is a source of wood and mineralized water production. This is actually how you can void crushed stone and slag, so that's a great process. But again, this is wood and wood boards. Alginic acid, I think, is part of what you need for paper. No, that's yeah. So alginic acid for cellulose pulp with fiber for paper for wooden boards made out of paper. Which is, wooden boards are your primary pull on wood. At least later on at scale. Yeah, there's just no good way of dealing with really truly dealing with extra hydrogen. I do need to get to this, to the metal mixing furnace for a bit later. Oh, I took copper smelting. I need long inserters, dang it. And I can definitely make good use of near inserters. There is water treatment too, but That won't do anything for me. Washing doesn't do anything for me, though it is an extremely important process. This is the angel method of producing wood. It's basically you input iron in this process, and you need to have a source of trees, which require a source of soil and tree seeds, which are from soil and water. And then how do you get soil? Well, yeah, that's a longer process. This is mud and compost. Well, mud comes from washing. You can get mud from washing. And then compost, which comes from a composter. You can use brown algae, actually, to make that. So that's something you can do, but again, there's just no good... Oh, this recipe can be quite useful for early plastic. This methanol from cellulose fiber, it's converting wood to methanol, which is then used in the production of plastic. But gosh, dang it, there is just no hydrogen consumer. None. None of this. Nothing in yellow science, anyway, does it. Alright, enough of that. Enough of that. What am I building next? Probably... Let's, clean up a little bit here and get our... Let's actually get a source of rocks and pull down our... Yeah, let's pull this out and down. I guess this will be that line. And this will be rocks. How am I gonna get the rocks over? Yeah. This is the, one of the problems with, Alright, so you are gonna have to move one. There. Now I am bringing rocks down, I just need to split here. This is awful that I'm doing it this way, but I mean, because it looks different, but I need stone on the belt, on the bus, and I will be needing stone bricks on the bus. For now, I'm probably should should have just done this a long time ago, but let's actually use some of this stone brick, to make us walk faster. Allow us to walk faster. Also stick it on the bar somewhere so that I can remember to do it on occasion. Use it. And again, this is a bit close, because usually I would want to have about yay much space to the side of not building anything, of having not buildings. Now this is a bonus of, I think, 30%? Yeah, 130. So, it's marginally faster, but it is not the fastest. Alright, I need you out here. I need you out here. It is unfortunate that I don't currently have the wood going. This is going to be automated production of our do I want that spacing? No. Automated production of our transport belts. If I remember how to actually do this. Wood, and copper. Right. That's the issue with those machines. And you get wood and stone, and you get gears and plates. Oh boy, this is all going to be gears. I guess I'll do this way. And, I'll do another split, just to make sure that you actually get iron, but you get to only do one side of the belt. And then I need the copper. This is an electronics assembling machine. Do I really want to do that there, though? Because the yellow belts will not need... Yeah, they won't need it, so... Okay. Logistics! Definitely need those logistics. Yeah, wrong way. Wrong position. There we go. That'll feed that. You need gear wheels and these. These will feed into boxes for now. These will feed out there, and these will feed in there. These take at least 2 to feed in. properly. And rocks, 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 rocks. I need rocks. Wood and stone. Oh, and I guess you also need wood. Ugh, how am I gonna get the wood in? Well, there is, the Bob's mods option of that, in case you didn't know, or in case you did know. Oh, that, I can't do that, can I? Unless I have a yellow. If I had a yellow, that'd be great. Speaking of the yellows, this will be the yellows. This will be the yellows, not that one. That one, that one, that one. This will require tin and basic circuits. These are significantly easier. Tin. Or better yet, tin. And the oh, this is cheesy, but it works. So this would be the gear wheels going out will be added. And guess what? I don't even need a an uneven number of undergrounds because I can run tin in right there. A single lane of tin, but yes, I can run the tin in right there. Alright, now give me near inserters. This is most wonderful. Now I can just do Shift L, and I now have a long inserter. And then I can Shift right click, and that copies that inserter type, and then I can just hold Shift and left click on everything else to set that setting to everything that needs it. Done. Now just wire it and get it to go. And everything will start collecting, doing wonderful things. Oh, and then I also have to think about, hey, you need to actually wire this all up, too. That will need undergrounds. I'm currently not producing any tin, although I could, from way over here, pipe it in. Just need the crushed sorting at this point to make the tin. That should be fine and easy enough. But, yeah, this is good so far. We've automated that. Oh, hello. Let's finish off that. Let's actually do that coal processing now. How's the, there we go. It's wood! Hello, wood! Nice seeing ya. Good to have a supply of you. Now, how the hell am I gonna get you to this guy? Half belt on the copper machine? Shift the copper machine up one? Do something like this. Let it pull in that. Do this. Figure out how I'm gonna put the wood on the opposite lane. I mean, it's not hard putting the wood on the opposite lane, but anyway. It means I'm going to need yellow to jump this, but I'm sort of in the process of getting it up to yellow belts, which will be nice. Though I won't be able to make the splitters, the yellow splitters, anytime soon, I would be able to make the undergrounds in the regular belts, though, because we need the basic circuit boards. I am trying to make the basic circuit boards. That'll be the next thing. I'm also not limiting this in any way, shape, or form. Any of this production. Wait, I don't need to do that. I need to do that here. Yeah, like, no. This. Huzzah! And that's getting one of those in. And then I am apparently only bringing a single lane of. Ah, yes, that explains the single lane of stone. How am I going to do this? Oh, hello, coal processing. Lots of things happening quickly. Not a bad thing, but they are happening. Buh. Nah, that's gonna be here. Come on, this way. Really? Hey, because I have tin in my inventory, I can actually handcraft yellows. Not there. There. Welcome to the party, Wood. Nice seeing you. I am now able to make all of the things. But as you can see, we're a little bit starved for iron plates, as expected. Maybe I should stop siphoning. Let's go ahead and stop the siphoning now. Now, I am going to be starved for iron. This is just going to be a thing. I am going to be starved for iron. Just because there's not enough things to consume copper at the moment. Thus, why I don't like the particular type of ore sorting that we're doing right now. We're sorting the impure ores, a singular impure ore into this stuff. Interesting. Are you simply not fast enough? It is simply not fast enough to keep up. Then I also only have a single lane of these as well. So, yes, that's intentional because it will end up being mirrored. But for now, let's not do that. Thanks. And we have officially reached the end of the stream. It is about 3 minutes until my stop time. So now is a good time to do our quick recap, or to do a quick recap, 3-minute recap of what we've experienced today. So, the progress today, we migrated from here to here, which gives us a location that is far more conducive to the production of iron directly, but will require us to do this impure sorting, giving us some copper for now until we can more easily get access up here to make copper directly, and then that is going to get thrown out the window. That whole thing will die a considerable, horrible death that will feel very satisfying when I do it. Otherwise, we have set up the smelting lines again, set up what will eventually be some steel when I get non-zero amounts of oxygen. Can't do anything with the hydrogen yet. We have some science moving. Science is moving. Which I can completely redo this now that we do have long inserters. We got the ability to have longer inserters. We completely automated wood. And we have completely automated gray production. Gray belt production and underground and splitters. With preparations made for yellows. Yellow is basically ready to go. It just needs the tin, and I will have yellows. And I can go about upgrading every single thing that we currently have. Oh hey, right, because I shift C, I fed in tin plates. So hey, look, we have yellows. But of course I will need circuit boards. So tomorrow we will be making other circuit boards because I need red science to actually get steel going, which sucks. I could probably get minimal amounts of steel by doing manual shenaniganry and storing hydrogen and all that, but F it. I'm just going to do the steel through red science and do it correctly. And once I have enough steel to make my actual metallurgy and do all that, well, goodbye to all of these lines for the actual metallurgy process, because that's what's actually going to be efficient generation of iron plates and copper plates and tin plates and all that. Gives me reason to do tin through ore sorting. So, alright, with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat, and I will see you all tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time until 2 p.m. Eastern Time, with a lunch break in the middle there at about 12:30 to just before 1. And, yeah, I will see you all tomorrow, Wednesday, middle of the week, hump day, and ideally, we'll have our red science. We'll have our red science. It's going to be good. Save 2. Circuit time! See you all then.